Welcome to the Notary Educators with Kimmi Podcast. Hosts Kimmi and Jeff Nunnally, along with Alexis Franklin, share expert insights to help you launch and grow a successful mobile notary business no matter what state you are commissioned in. Learn how to become a top-notch loan signing agent and get answers to common notary questions. Explore our all-inclusive $47 monthly training library, plus live weekly online coaching sessions with courses on general notary work, wedding efficient services, remote online notary, ink fingerprinting, apostille, translation services, and I-9 completion. Notary Educators, LLC is your one-stop shop for notary training. Tune in to the Notary Educators with Kimmi podcast and subscribe to the Notary Educators with Kimmi's YouTube channel also for more tips. Take your notary business to new heights.
How are ya? I am here live. We're going to talk about a few things. Today's topic, because I always like to have a little topic, is or story. Can I still make money as a notary even though I'm not a signing agent? Because I get a lot of people, even in my mentorship, they don't want to be a signing agent. They don't. And we'll talk about the reasons why people don't want to be a signing agent. And I'll give you some reasons why I think you should. Okay. Again, I'm Kimmi, #1 notary educator. I'm going to claim it because I know I do it. What's up? What's up? How's everybody? I teach notaries nationwide how to have a great foundation in the business, how to do your notarial duties, how to do your job. And I could teach you how to get to what they say, the bag, the money, okay? Because if you don't know what you're doing, you ain't going to get to the bag. It's just facts, okay? Let's just keep it 100. Or buck or whatever other word they insert, okay? How y'all liking my orange lips today? I'm just trying something different. It's the summertime, and when I'm recording this, and I bought it at the store the other day. I said, we're going to do something different. So it's orange. It's actually orange. I remember when I was little, my mother had this kind of lipstick. I don't know, maybe it was an homage to her. But anyway, okay, guys, let's do this. So, I had a message over in our chat. We have a group chat. Good morning. Welcome. Yeah, so we're talking this morning about, or whenever you're watching this, and hey to those on the podcast and those who watch the replay. Do you have to be a signing agent in order to make money? So let's talk about some reasons why. Hey, Lisa. Hey, thanks for hitting the like button. Let's talk about some reasons why people don't want to actually be a signing agent. So we got to go back just a little bit. Oh, thank you, girl. My sister went out the country and she bought this for me. I appreciate it. Hey, Lori, how you doing? Yes, I said, let me wear it today. My sister bought this for me. So I said, I'm going to wear it today. It's a little tight, actually, but it's all good. She don't like stuff big. So anyway, let's talk about what is a signing agent. So a signing agent is notary signing agent, loan signing agent. There was also a term floating at one time, executive signing agent. Any of those agents actually just deal with mortgage documents. So sometimes it could be printing documents. It's small. A package as small as 25 pages up to 250 pages. And you got to print 2 sets. So it might be 400 or 500 pages you have to print. You have to do scan backs. That's when the client needs a copy of the document sent back to them. Sometimes that's happening so they can do funding of the mortgage, or if someone's buying a home or whatever, they need copies of the documents back. Also, as a signing agent, you have to take the package eventually to UPS or FedEx, ship it back. So it's a lot of things that go into being a signing agent, a lot of little pieces, okay? Not to mention, sometimes you have to collect documents. Most of the time, you're not collecting any money, no collecting of funds. But people just don't want to do all that printing, the scanning, all of that. They just don't want to do it. So they're like, well, hey, Kimmi, can I still make money if I'm not a signing agent? And the answer is going to be a resounding yes. You just have to know how to do it. So I'm going to give you some ways to make money if you don't want to be a signing agent first. But then I'm going to give you some tips on why I think you should be a signing agent. Okay, so let's go to ways you can make money if you don't want to be a signing agent. If you don't want to be a signing agent, it's all good. Okay, it's all good. Let's see what Lori says. Hey, Lisa, just living a dream, stamping that paper. I love it. I love it. Yeah, and I got a job later today, and we got mentorship tonight. So that's why I said, let me just go ahead and go live today. And plus I have my new shirt on, so I wanted to wear my shirt. Okay, so anyway, so if you don't want to be a signing agent, it's all good. So what you can do if you don't want to be a signing agent is learn, first of all, how to do your notarial duties, right? And that's even before being a signing agent. I don't care what you do in this business, you have to know how to stamp that paper. You have to. That's a non-negotiable. Some people say, well, Kimmi, that's a basic. You can learn it through your county, through your handbook. No, you can't. I guarantee you, you cannot. Okay. You have to learn the business, and we can teach you the business. We'll come to that later. Okay. So what you can do though, is once you learn how to properly notarize documents, focus on estate/trust documents. You're hearing a lot of talk about that you can make $150, $200, $300 per appointment. It is true. It is true. So I'm going to always tell you what's true on YouTube and what's not. Estate/trust packages, yes, it does pay a lot, and anywhere from $150, $200. I think the most I've charged is like $250, $250-ish in my state. Now in California, you might charge even double. Chicago, or even in Atlanta, they can charge a little bit more. I'm out in the suburbs, so I don't charge what people in California can charge. Let's just be clear, right? But anyway, the point is that you can make that money, but you got to know what you're doing. You got to know what a power of attorney is. You got to know what attorney in fact is. You have to know all these different terms, okay? Now, do you need to be an expert at it? No, but when your client is trying to fill out that document and you don't know what it is, you gonna look kind of crazy, and you charge somebody $200 or $300 and you can't even explain who the principal is, okay? So I do have an estate/trust course that takes you step by step in how to actually facilitate an estate/trust package or signing. There is no certification required to do that type of work. You're just a regular old notary, but people will call you because of your experience or because of what they think you know, okay? And most of you don't know, and no shade, but you got to know what you're doing in order to play the game that we're talking about, okay? In order to request the kind of money that we're talking about, you can't go out there and not know what you're talking about. You cannot go out there and not know some basic terminology. So in the estate/trust course, you can get it two ways. Either, I'm going to give you some more tips about it too, but you can get it either NotaryEducatorsLLC.com under the courses, 60% off. Coupon code is WIN, WIN2025. Or you can get it as part of the mentorship program if you're in the all-inclusive package, okay? So you have to know these different documents. What is an estate package? What does it look like? You got a trust document. Typically, you got a will, advanced medical directive. You have different documents in these different packages. Some of them are 5 pages long. Some of them are 20 pages, 30 pages. So every package is different. That's the first thing I teach you in our basic training. Every package is different. Do not try to learn the packages, because you will not, okay? The moment you think, oh, they all going to have this document in it. No, they don't. They don't. Or the moment you think every single document is going to be this. Nope. I just saw that document, but it's different from this one. Welcome to notary. Okay, welcome to the notary space. So how else can you make money if you don't want to be a signing agent? Is learning the apostille business. Yes, once again, when you see people on YouTube right here, and I'll be honest, I'm going to always do that. When you see people talking about they making $600, $700, they are. My most expensive job doing apostilles was $8. That was my most expensive. That was a one-timer. Most of the time, my average apostille job is about, typically it's just one page. So like 175 up to my highest. Other one I did one the other day was 325. And the whole video is coming about that one. I earned every penny of it. So the whole video is coming about that soon. But anyway, apostilles, focusing on that. What is an apostille for those of you who may be new? The document is leaving the country, going somewhere else, and before it can be accepted over in another country, it has to have a special authentication on it. So notaries do not put that on there, because you'll call your Secretary of State and then call me, Kimmi, my Secretary of State said I can't do that. Or I just recently had a client call me from Panama, a client that I did service that lives now in Panama. A lot of people leaving the country. That's another topic for another day. And that's not even this channel. But my client moved to Panama. She referred me to somebody else in a Facebook group. Yeah, I got my documents completed by this lady, and I told her, hey, I can even do nationwide. And she was like, really? I said, yeah, because she don't know my process. But she told one of her friends about me, and her friend said, the notary can't do it. She can't do it. And it was so funny because my client told her, she said, well, I don't know what the process is. She said, maybe she just does it for me, but I know I'm over here and I got my papers. It was the cutest thing. So, that's why I always say, if you provide good service, your clients will work for you. Your clients will work for you. If you provide excellent service to your clients, they will work for you. They will talk for you. They will recommend you. They will fight for you, So I love it. They will refer you to their friends in Facebook groups, and they'll, when you have a good client and they love you, it's priceless. It's priceless. I used to tell my mom, hey, I said it would be more important to get the review than the money sometimes. And she's like, oh, no. But she didn't understand the value of the review. And she was right, too, because when I get ready to pay my Georgia Power bill or electric, Walter EMC, they're not going to be like, oh, yeah, you got that review over there. Just send us that for payment, right? No, they want green. They want a check. They want a debit card, credit card, electronic, okay? So anyway, but the review is so important because it lives long. It lives way after the cash. You got the cash, you got the money, but that review is there forever, okay? People going to read that review, and those reviews grow, and they add, and, so that's why I'm really big on asking for reviews. So you can do apostille work, though. You can be a facilitator. Just a courier also for the apostille. Now, especially if you live near the Secretary of State, okay? Especially if you live near the Secretary of State, that could be a good hustle for you. There are so many people that are really killing the game. Now, I live near the Secretary of State, so if anybody needs somebody in Georgia, call me. Well, don't call me, but you know what I'm saying. Email me or whatever. Because don't just start calling me. I don't have time for that. I would love to be your courier, though, if you just need something in Georgia. Even if you have an apostille and you're watching this, because I get this a lot of times, too. People put apostilles on their services, and they really don't know how to do it. If that happens to you, please just email me at notaryeducatorsllc@gmail.com, and we will check it out for you. We can work together. We can split the commission, whatever, okay? Or I'll give you part of it, because usually it's a lot of work. So just to give you half of it, but definitely a commission. So if you are listening to this and you're doing apostilles and you put it on your website and you really don't know what you're doing, please reach out because we'll help you get it completed. So I do have an apostille course too. Of course, you can check that out in notaryeducatorsllc.com. It's also in the all-inclusive package, or you can buy that separately. A lot of people like to buy that apostille course separately because they just want to have continued access to it. It's not a thing you can just watch once. Actually, none of the videos, because I always tell people, what you watch, a lot of people, this is what they do. They sign up for a mentorship, and then they watch everything in one night, every single course in one night. But then when you actually go out there and start doing the work, when you start going doing the work, then you see, oh, I need to go back and rewatch that. Yeah, I need to go back and rewatch it. So now we've talked about what else can you do if you don't want to do signing agent. Hey, Andrea, what up? What up? What else can you do if you don't want to do signing agent? You can do ink fingerprinting. Now, I had one go bad the other day. It went really bad. This was on Sunday. I talked about ink fingerprinting last week, but I had one this week. And this guy could not roll his finger. He wanted to do it his way. And what was so funny, we do ink fingerprinting all the time, but in this case, they sent this man a video to watch. They sent him very, very, very specific instructions. So we had to really follow the letter of the law with these instructions. So they wanted him not only to just do the top 4. Typically, when you do ink fingerprinting, you may do like the first 4 on the card. They wanted to down to the second line on the finger. He had to take the ink pad and rub all over the finger. It was just terrible. It was just terrible. So finally, guys, it cost me time because it was hot. And he was hot too. He said, I'm just so hot. He couldn't focus. So let me tell you what the issue was. And then we're going to wrap up the part about the signing. Why you should be doing signing agent. And I'm going to talk about the mentorship and everything right quick. And I'll take your questions, of course. So what happened is when you're doing ink fingerprinting, and again, I got a course on this, so you can check it out. The whole course library, just check it out. I got a course on everything for you. But when you're doing ink fingerprinting, it has to be a flat surface. There's no workaround. You have to have it on a flat surface. If it's not flat, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Lisa, can you tell me what's going on in the chat, please? Because I see a lot of activity, and I hope it's okay over there. Just you don't have to tell me what's going on, but just put a thumbs up if it's okay, please. Hey, Robbie, apostille, wedding officiant, test proctor. Yes, I'm going over it right now. So another thing you could do. Thank you so much for that, Robbie. Appreciate it. We were talking about the fingerprinting though. So it has to be a flat surface. So what my client was doing was taking his finger and trying to take the clipboard and put it to the edge of the car, because we're doing it in the car. Okay, the back of my car, my mobile office, I call it. So we're trying to do it out the back, and I'm constantly telling him, no, you can't do, it has to be flat. I keep trying to tell him that it has to be flat. And the clipboard, every time he would push, it would flip, because it wasn't on the flat surface. It would flip toward him. And I'm just like, oh my God. So anyway, we did that little dance. They gave him 7 sheets of paper. 7. So I didn't have to use my cards. This company sent him like notebook paper or, just, printed fingerprint cards on regular sheet paper. Okay. And he just kept doing it his way. So we went through 4 of them. So the instructions were for him to fold the fingerprint card into 3, fold it into 3 and then like do it, then unfold it, then do it, then refold it. Oh, it was a whole situation. And I got to the point, finally, I told him, I said, you know what? After he messed up 3, and he had to turn back in 4. So I already had underpriced that job. I did. I'm thinking he gonna get out there, print, do, be gone in 30 minutes. Oh no, it took us 30 minutes just to figure out that he didn't know what he was doing. And he had tried it at home, so when he got with me, he figured he would be able to do it. But if you're not going to do what I tell you to do, it still ain't going to work. That's the same thing with the mentorship program. I can lay it out for you, but if you don't follow the program's not going to work for you. Okay? And I have people that get very few. I mean, we've had hundreds of people come through the program, and it's been amazing. It really has, the results. But I get a couple people ever so often, and I can tell you, it's only been like 2. It's like, I don't know what they thought they were signing up for, but we're pretty clear in the description. You still have to do the work. It's like, oh, I love the program, but you're not working the program. You have to actually do it step by step. Learn the information, market your business. Let's get the pricing together. Let's get the witnesses together. I mean, it's very clear, but I don't know. I can't explain it. So we've had to part ways a couple times, and it's all good. That's business. You gotta have clients in your notary business that you just don't mesh with. You just don't, and it's all good. I had one lady, I was so crazy with her, and this one, it's so rare. I forgot about her till I'm just telling y'all this right now. And finally, Jeff was like, Kim, that's enough. And when he told me that, I was like, okay, I knew I went too far. But she was just really, I'd already charged her a little bit less, trying to be nice. She was elderly. And she just did the most. I mean, everything. She was just complaining, and she was just really a pain, And people like that, I'll give your money back. I don't want to be bothered, I'm like, hey, you can find you another notary, because it's just not worth it. I'm here to have a good experience with you. I want you to have a good experience with me, and it is an experience. Even when you go to restaurants nowadays, it's about the ambiance, right? It's about how do you feel. It's about the vibe. We went to a restaurant here recently, and it was so loud. So what happened, we thought they had like a separate area for the guys to go do like their smoking thing. It wasn't for Jeffrey, because we don't smoke, but it was like the cigar lounge. That's all big, all the rage, right? These cigar lounges for guys, and women go too, I guess. But we thought it was a separate cigar area, and the music was bumping. I mean, it was loud. Boom, boom, boom. So we're going into the restaurant. I had read the reviews. It looked pretty good. And then we get on the inside. Boom. That music was in the restaurant. I was like, are you kidding? You can't even hear yourself think. I mean, like, it was so loud. So I was like, nope, gotta go. I have zero interest in eating here. So we turned around and walked right back out. My point being that there's going to be a vibe usually between you and your client, and 90% of the time it's going to go well. It's going to go well. But there are going to be times when it goes bad. It's just going to happen. And when it does, I'm always about being the bigger person. Now, sometimes it go bad where you can't come back from it. And if it does, you know, just get out of there as fast as you can, you know. Don't prolong it any longer. And it's very rare that it happens, but sometimes even at divorce signings, because I have one of my mentees, she's had a whole lot of divorce signings recently. She said, I don't know where they're coming from, but, you know, she likes the money, but she doesn't like the fact that they're divorcing, you know. And I get that. Those signings are complicated emotionally. You know, I've done many myself, and it's always like, you get the two that's divorced and they kind of like deuces, or you get the ones that are divorced and it's kind of like, I don't like you, you don't like me, I'm glad it's over, bye. Or you get the other kind, one of them crying. You know, I've had one where he was kind of mean to her, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what's up here. No wonder. You know, he was throwing the paper back at her and just demeaning and talking to her like he was crazy and stuff. So, you know, so divorce signings can be kind of complicated. I digress. Let's go back over here to the comments. So Robbie was giving some suggestions. So apostille, wedding officiant, test proctor. So let's talk about wedding officiant a little bit. So yes, that is something else that you can do too if you don't want to do signings, is wedding officiant. And that one business can turn into something else. That wedding officiant business can turn into you doing coordination of weddings, offering photo services. It could be anything. You could end up getting into catering. So that one thing can lead to something else. I mean, so there are so many different ways to make money in this industry. It's just crazy. It really is. If you really are about your business and you want to do it full time, and you got to put the work in. Now, it's not going to just happen. I'm telling you, it's not. Hit the like button, guys. It's not going to just happen. It's not. Is it possible? Yes, it is. It is. I do have a wedding officiant course, but of course I do. It's a really nice course. So I love my wedding officiant course. I don't talk about it enough, but I'm going to start talking about it. I'm getting hot. I need to cut the fan on. So anyway, hey, Robbie. Monica says, hey, Kimmi, I just found your channel and I'm new in OKC. Is that Oklahoma City? Oklahoma City, I believe, correct? And welcome, Monica. Welcome. Monica Hudson's in the house. Yeah, so check out the channel. And when you're ready, check out all things Notary, NotaryEducatorsLLC.com. And let's talk about why you should do lawn signing, though, okay? I really want to talk about that why. And Robbie says, yeah, women smoke cigars, too. Everybody's welcoming Monica. We got Tiffany. Yeah, I kind of thought so. Tiffany M is in the house. She says, hi, I'm going to get your book, then eventually the course. I'm a notary, but haven't began anything yet. Thanks for your content, North Carolina, Charlotte. Yeah, I haven't been to Charlotte yet. Thank you, Tiffany. Yeah, I do have my books here, now that you mentioned it, so people can see what they are. So this one is for Indiana. What is that? Florida, Georgia, and there is one for North Carolina. Every state has their own book. So check out the book collection at NotaryEducatorsLLC.com. And it's right there on the front page. Hit the notary book collection, okay? And we'll love to have you over in mentorship. Once you know, like you said, what you're doing, I love that you're taking your time and learning the business, because you got to know what you're getting into. When I say learn the business, the book tells you all the different things you can do with the business, like we're talking about here, but a little bit deeper, and how to get your commission. It actually helps you start the business. But then when you're ready to actually do the business, that's when you need mentorship, okay? So let's talk about why you should be doing lawn signings, in my opinion, okay? First of all, I'm not cutting off any stream, trickle, whatever word you want to put there when it comes to income, okay? If you're going to pay me $75 over here, because I'm all about the bucket, the big bucket, right? I'm all about that bucket. So whatever I can fit in that bucket, I don't care where the money come from as long as it's legal, okay? So if I'm doing loan signings today, I got a loan signing today. I might have a car inspection today. I may have an ink fingerprinting today. That's why I always say be able to do everything. So between all of that, if I can meet my goal of whatever that looks like for you or for me, I'm happy. I don't care how it comes. So that's one main reason why I'm like, why not? Get the knowledge. Get the knowledge. It's $99 with the NNA for the smallest package. Now that's for Georgia. You got to see what your state costs, because each state is different. But all you need is the smallest package. This bra is getting on my nerves. All you need is the smallest package from, because you can see the strap a little bit if I don't pull the shirt right. All you need is the smallest package from the NNA, and then we can teach you the rest. Most people like to take our training first and then go do the NNA test, because if you don't have any knowledge of notary, you could probably pass it. You probably could, but it's better if you go ahead and do the training first. But whatever way you want to do it, I'm not opposed to it. However you want to do it. So, but again, I'm not about cutting off any stream of income. So if someone want to pay me to come do a loan mod for $75, I'm there. It's 10 minutes, 15 with chit chat. Give me my $75. If someone want to pay me to come and do a refi for $150, nah. So I just had a request for one refi the other day, and they kept putting this signing out, And it's a company that everybody already knows, so I'm not going to say their name here because I'm not that person. But a lot of people have opted not to work with them anymore. So I could tell that it's affecting them because they're sending out the same signings over and over and over. So I sent them back a message, guys. I have never did this before. But I didn't mind doing a job because actually my heart started kind of bleeding for them. I'm like, they can't find nobody to do their assignment, right? And that's why you got to treat people right. You got to treat people right. If you do not, it's going to affect your business. So when you think signing companies are getting away with stuff because they don't want to pay you, if you think they're getting away with stuff because they pay slow and all this nonsense and all these 15 different pages of instructions, and then people are like, you know what? Boom. I'm not working with ABC Signing Company no more, or 123 Signing Company. I'm not working with them anymore. Right? They are suffering, guys, because you're not the only person they doing that to. So this particular company, who shall remain nameless, everybody already know who they are to look up. I like how Lisa did that the other day when she was trying to tell me who they were. But I'm not going to say their name, though, because we ain't trying to get sued, okay? But all of you know who you are. So anyway, nobody would take this particular signing. So I told Jeffrey, I said, hey, I'm going to do this signing, but I'm going to tell them that you got to pay me up front. If you pay me today, I will go out there today and do your signing. So I told them I wanted more money, and they had to pay me today. Crickets. They didn't respond back. And that's what I'm going to start doing for them. They have a lot of signings in my area, a lot of signings, a lot. All day long, I get alerts from them, right? If I did 5 of those per day, hey, I would be straight. And they're really quick signings. They're loan modifications. So loan modifications typically have 2 notarizations. That's it for like $50, $60. I'll go, okay? But I'm just going to say I'll go today, but you have to pay me today. I'm not waiting 6 months to get my money. I'm not waiting a year. I'm not sending you off 4 or 5 demand letters. I will go and work for you, but you have to pay me today. So I said, that's what I'm going to start doing with them. I'm going to let them know I'll be there, but I ain't going waiting on you to pay me. Tan Mac, what's up? How are you? Welcome, welcome. Look at Lori. She doing her thing over there. Thank you, Lori, for your help, for real. Hey, Katrina. That's my homie G. What's up, girl? How are you? Yeah, so that's my new thing with them, though. I'm going to come work for you, but it's going to be right. So what questions do you all have while I tell you? So why else do I think you should do loan signings? Again, one, the skill set. The skill set. Why not have another skill set? We already talked about the money. I want you to get the money, not to mention the skill set. If I can learn some mortgage documents, and I can work with direct now. So it's not just from signing companies. When you really get good at learning how to do these signings, direct people will call you, okay? So it's not always about the signing companies. You hear a lot about that, but I get most of my work now is direct. They find me on Google, okay? They find me. So, or they're looking for a notary. Yeah, basically they're finding me. I was going to try to tell you another way, but it's really just that simple. They find me. So that's called direct. And it's not through a signing company, so you can charge more money. I charged this guy, I think it was $225. And I felt bad about it. I talked about this a few weeks ago. But I was like, you know what? I felt okay with it. I really felt good about it, but it was like, it wasn't as many documents as I thought he had. And it just makes up for the times when I underpriced something. So I was all good. I slept that night. Monica says, how do you get the alerts and what state are you in? I am in Georgia. I'm in Georgia, but I teach notaries nationwide, Monica. And how am I able to do that? Because all of your documents do not originate in your state. So in our mentorship program, we have people. Lori's in a mentorship program. She's in Illinois. We have California. We have Nevada. We have Texas, California. I don't know if we got anybody from North Carolina yet. But if not, they have been through there. I mean, we've serviced just about all the states. We got, oh God, it's so many. I can't even tell you, but nationwide, like literally nationwide. Because at the end of the day, you do have to know what your state law says, but 90% of your documents are not going to originate in your state. And don't forget, we're talking about doing apostilles. So now we're talking international. So knowing how to be a notary, it goes way beyond just your state. You have to know how to be a great notary. So everybody in this group chat here, well, not everybody, but quite a few are in mentorship, and they're in different states. So we got, like I said, Nevada, California. I love my California people because they are they're a country of their own. Their laws, California and New York are different. California and New York. We got Jersey. I think our Jersey person left, but I think we got another Jersey person. Yeah, but we got all states, so you could definitely don't feel like, well, you got to know where I'm located, which it doesn't. I don't mind telling you, but me being in Georgia doesn't affect where you're located because we're gonna still teach you everything you need to know about being a notary. And you can just check out the reviews, check out the courses that we offer, the different plans that we have. We have 2 plans of entry for mentorship. Let me get this other part of your question too. How do you get the alerts? Once you sign up with different signing companies, that's how you get the alerts. So the main one that I'm signed up with, I love, is signingorder.com. And I do pay the $2.99 per month. And with that $2.99, it gives me access to different signing zip codes rather. Zip codes. If you don't pay the extra, you only have access to one zip code. So I don't mind traveling to about a 20-mile radius. So, in Georgia, and it's like that any state, basically. When you cross over the street sometimes, or cross the street, you in the next city or whatever county. So that's how it is. It just gives you more access. So I've been paying that for years, and it's paid off 2,000 times over. So that's how I get the alerts. They come to my phone, or either they come through email or text message. So text message, email, or people will call me direct. They actually pick up the telephone. And that's another reason why I'm always like, pick up the phone, pick up the phone. So what other questions do you all have? So I think I've given you my reasons why I think. So I wouldn't be afraid of, when it comes to being a signing agent, don't be afraid of the scan backs. Don't be afraid of the printing. All you doing is buying, look, literally a ream of paper is $10. So sometimes people say, well, it's not worth the money when you do all the math and they got these fancy calculators and, taking out $2 for this and $10. No, I don't look at it like that. The print is like, I don't know. I really don't have a figure on it. I really just never even got into that. I'm going to tell you, I've seen many people with different calculators and trying to tell you how much you make on a job and all that. I don't buy into that. I figure if you pay me $100 and I got to print one ream, that's $10. I got to drive there, $125. Okay, but I got to look at the big picture. I do 3 of them a day. That's $300. Did it really cost me $300 to print that paper and all that for 3 jobs? No, it did not. So it's all how you look at things too, guys. And that's what keeps a lot of us down. I'm going to tell you the truth. Because we're all, and I can be like that sometimes. I'm an all or nothing kind of person sometimes. I have very, very little room for, I don't want to say not, I want it all or sometimes nothing. And even though, I know a good example. Yesterday, my sister was talking about dessert. And me and her both. Always, everybody always on a diet. So I'm the kind of person, I ain't eating half the cake. I want the whole slice of cake. I ain't eating a nibble of it and I'm going to stay the rest till later. Okay? That's not your girl. I'm going to eat that whole slice of cake and I'm not going to rest until the cake is out of the house. Okay? Okay? So when it comes to building our business, how does that go together? Some of us, if I can't get that signing for $300, doggone it, I'm not going to go do it. What? You just started. You need to take a $30 job. You need to take a $50 job. And some people are going to talk about me or not like that. And I don't really care. I don't, because I know how I built my business. I'm still running my business. I'm still here. Okay. So it works. And do I look like I've lost any weight from not eating? No, because I go out there and get my money. So, example, when I first started, the next day after I started getting alerts on my phone. Me and Jeff call them hits. But I started getting alerts on my phone, $30, 30, 30, 30, 30. And I was getting them every day, all day for a whole month. And I said, girl, you don't know what you're doing. One, you don't know what you're doing. You are not getting any of the $150 assignments that YouTube told you should be getting, right? You're not getting those. So you need to take some of these jobs. So I started taking those $30 jobs, y'all. And I started doing like 3 a day, 4 a day. That's $120 a day times 30 days, right? I was doing them every day. I was taking them. Them loan mods was hitting. Do you hear me? So that was like $3,000 a month. Just at $30 a day. Per assignment, $100 a day. So $100 a day times 30 days is $3,000. So that's how I do math. That's how I grew up. That's how I do math. Let's put it all in that pot and let that pot keep filling up. So that's how I do it. Love singing loud, delicious cake. Elbane, yeah. Yeah, I'm not eating just this little, some people I'll have a fork full. No, I want the whole slice. Give me the whole slice. But you can't do that in your business. You have to do little by little. So I'm about, how can I make the pot grow? Like compound interest. Yeah, it just keeps building. Lori's right. So that's exactly how I do my business. And that's how I teach other notaries. So again, I'm not all flashy. I'm not about, well, you got to get $150 per signing or doggone it. Nah, dude, take that $50 signing. If you do 10 $50 signings, that's $500 a day. Are you making $500 a day at your job right now? Let me know. Now, is it easy doing 10 a day? Loan mods, probably. I wouldn't even do 10. Let's just be clear. I probably would do more like 5. The most I ever did was like 5 in a day. Now, some people could do more than that. I do like 5. Even now, it's not my preference. My preference is like, well, it just depends. I typically average about like 3 to 4 things a day. And it's a combination of things. That's another reason why I like doing loan signings, doing fingerprinting, doing apostilles, because my day is just so mixed. I don't never have really just one thing all day. It's always mixed. All right, we got some comments here. Let's see. Bryn J. Tucker says, hey, Kim, the website is my issue. How can I get it set up? It's so annoying. Yes, we can get you set up. We do have a website at builder at notaryeducatorsllc.com. And if you have just a couple questions, you can drop them here. But we typically build on GoDaddy because it's just easy to navigate. They answer the phone 24/7. If you get stuck, we'll build it for you, and then we give it back to you. You can put your colors in there that you want. You can put your slogan. If you have any specific pictures you'd like added. So that's what we do. We can get it built up for you pretty quick. Okay. Annie says, hey, Annie. Annie says, how much E&O insurance do you recommend? So I've been able to work with $25,000 for all the time I've been doing it. Some people say, well, you got to have $1 million. You have to have $1 million. No, you don't. Why don't you? Because the signing companies have their own insurance too. Don't forget now. You think they're sending you out there to do $1 million property and they don't have no insurance on you, or $200,000 property? They would be crazy not to. Okay. So I have a $25,000 policy. I've been working with that same policy since I've been doing this for 6 years. I work with direct. And now I will say this. If you're working with a company and they require you to have $1 million and you want to work with them, then you got to have $1 million. You have to. Or they're not going to work with you. That's the requirement. But 95% do not require that. They don't even ask you, do you have insurance? Okay. Especially direct. Okay. Let's see. Very good. Addison Dad 55 says, just found you. Welcome, Addison. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Notary fam over here, Notary Educators. Annie says, thank you. You're so welcome. ST says, what payment process and what schedule tool do you use? So for payment processing, I use Square. I also take Zelle. I take Cash App. I take everything. So don't get me on my soapbox on this one, ST, because a lot of people, and it's actually getting worse and worse. They're like, don't take Cash App. Don't take Square. I mean, not Square. Don't take Cash App. Don't do Zelle. It's ghetto. Every time I even say that, and I say this pretty regularly here, because I hear it, other YouTubers telling you that, and they're like, that's ghetto. Don't take Zelle. I'm like, but that's how the people are paying nowadays. I always say, make it easy for your clients to do business with you. Make it easy. I've had to redo our website several times because it wasn't a smooth transition for you to find what you're looking for. You shouldn't have to write me and say, hey, Kimmi, where the book's located, okay? I want to buy a book, but I can't find a book. Or, hey, Kimmi, I want to get the journal, which I'll show you really quick. But there's 15 different journals you can choose from, okay? These are just some of them. There are 15. We got the print. We got some for the guys. We got 2 with cars on it. We got hot pink, red, purple. They are so cute. But anyway, check out the journal collection, okay? And anyway, people were writing me, hey, I can't find the journals. I can't find this. I'm like, oh no. That's making a bad experience for the client. So I take everything. I take Zelle. I have 2 Zelle accounts. I have a personal Zelle and I have a business Zelle, okay? So I'm not commingling funds. I'm not telling, hey, my sister sent me $20 to my business Zelle account. No, I have a business Zelle and I have a personal Zelle, okay? And then same thing for my Cash App. I have a business Cash App and then I have a personal Cash App. So I'm not telling the person that we buying pizza together tonight, send me $50 to my business Cash App. No, everything is separated. Everything is separated. So I do take Venmo also. I do take Venmo. Venmo's not my favorite because I just don't use it a lot, but I do have access to it. And I didn't want to do PayPal, but I had no choice. I didn't want to do PayPal, but what happened, I did 1 week, I had 2 direct clients, and that's how they both wanted to pay, was PayPal. So I was like, oh goodness, here we go. So I had to do it. You got to do what the people want. I didn't want to do PayPal, but that's how they wanted to pay me. And it's just something, like I said, I just don't use it a lot. So that's why I didn't want to. It wasn't that I felt it was anything wrong with it. I didn't feel it was ghetto. I didn't feel it was this, or I didn't feel anything like that. I just don't use it a lot. So my favorite, when somebody asks me what's my preferred method, is Zelle. Because there's no fees. Okay? I don't have any fees. And my next one is Cash App, because again, you don't have to cash it out immediately. With Cash App, you have an option to wait a few days and then you don't have to pay any fee on that either. When I first started, I was like, give me my money. I'm hitting instant. And I was like, well, why I gotta do that? I could wait a couple of days. If I could wait. Now, if I need my money instantly, I'm gonna hit instant. But some of those times I was just hitting instant just because. So you can wait and get your money. And you don't have to pay any fees on Cash App either. So to answer your question, though, I'm taking everything. And again, I want to make it easy. I had a client the other day, actually. He told me, hey, I went to Walmart and I had to buy a pack of gum so I can get some money for you. He didn't have to do all that. All he had to do was ask me what I wanted, which way I wanted to get paid. Now, let me add one more thing to this. I'm going to get your comments. I do not take checks a lot. When I said I take everything, I only will take a check sometimes from an attorney, sometimes from an estate package, from an older person. But 90% of the time, I'm not in the check business. I don't want your check, okay? Unless it's a signing company. And even them, but, you know, it is what it is. But I don't necessarily just take checks. It's a rare exception, okay? Addison says she's learning a lot, or he. Thank you, Addison. Addison's dad, so I'm guessing it is a he. So thank you, Addison. We need more male notaries if you're a male too. Just confirming. Yeah, the men need to be representing this thing out here. I'm telling you, women have been dominating the game. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's, you know, women, we gonna do what we do. But I love to see my men win out here, though. I really do. My husband is a notary. And y'all know I be showing Jeffrey off, and he hates the camera. Y'all know he hates the camera, right? But he does it anyway. So L. Bain says, hello, Kimmi. I have a non-business account solely for my business. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. A non-business account that you only use for your business. That's fine. Now, is it because you don't have your LLC, L. Bain, that you're using just a regular checking account? Is it because you don't have your LLC yet? Is that the problem? Because I do always say, I don't initially just say, go out and start getting LLCs, EIN, Make sure you wait about 3-4 months. Make sure you want to do this business. You might start doing it and say, I don't like being a notary. But if you find out that, hey, yeah, I'm going to do this business, then I highly recommend that you go ahead and get your LLC, get your business account, get everything set up the way it needs to be set up. I'm just about that life. I'm about, I want all my ducks in a row. I want everything the way it's supposed to be. For those of you who don't know what ducks in a row, that means get your life. That means just get some order in your life. I was at work one day when I worked at the hospital, and this girl, she was so cute. She was like in her 20s. She was talking to her boyfriend, and she was like, we got to get our ducks in a row. And he was on the other end asking her, like, what's ducks in a row? I thought I would crack up. It was the cutest thing ever. She said, we got to get our ducks in a row. And she went on to explain to him. I said, you must live with your grandmother or something. Because my mother was older than all my friends' mom. My mother was way older. So I talked older sometimes, too, because of that, Oh, my goodness. Let me know. Is it because you don't have your LLC? Lori says, I find that my older people that need wills, POAs, trusts, etc., which are some of the higher paying work, use Zelle. I'm like, Kimmi, I'm not leaving no money on the table for anyone's ego. I know, right? And I think that's what it is, Lori. Lori, thank you for sharing that too. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, they have Zelle, and they like, Addison dad says, I'm a man. Yeah, they like keeping it simple. I mean, they use Zelle, and it's easy for them. So I want to make it as easy as possible for them to pay me. And Lori is exactly right. If they got Zelle, I'm taking Zelle. And I don't put no stigma on them. Oh, you're paying with Cash App. Oh. What? That's crazy. Everybody pays with Cash App. Everything is Cash App. QR readers. We got to get with the program, y'all. Because a lot of times we are going to be left behind. We are going to be left behind. You could put the we, whatever you want to put in there, as a people, as women, men, older, younger, race-wise, whatever, because we don't want to get with the program. We don't want to do the electronic thing. We're scared of AI. We're scared of all this stuff. You're going to be left behind. I'm telling you, now's the time, little by little. I keep talking about content. For those of you who don't have a YouTube channel, you need to be doing something in this digital space. You see they're trying to take all the jobs away, right? When I say they, I'm using that loosely. Because things are just changing digitally. AI is here to stay. So either you're going to learn it or you're going to get rolled over by it. Okay? And I love AI. I do. I use it so much. I really do. I'm going to tell y'all my dream. I love being a notary. But the other passion of mine, and you probably heard me say this before, is building businesses. And that's why I get a chance to do both with this space to help people build their business. But I'm really, really, really passionate about, I can take anybody. You tell me what you're working on, in 10 minutes, I can have your whole business plan for you. 10 minutes, because it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. You got to do the work. But thank you again, Lori, for sharing. Addison's dad said he is a man. Yes, welcome, Addison's dad. So yeah, again, this is for men too. It really is. It really is. L. Bain says, thank you. I had the account first, then LLC. Yeah, I don't know that you can change it. That would be a bank question. But I'm just all about, like I said, if my business is None Better Mobile Notary LLC, I want my bank account to say None Better Notary LLC. Now, I still receive checks in Kimberly Nunnally at times because people just write it out like that. And when they do, I put it in my business account, because I think sometimes your business account, they kind of know who you are and stuff, or they can go back and track and see who the signers are. So I still put if it's business related, it goes to the business account. Okay. That's just how I do. And again, you don't have to have a business checking account, but eventually you would want to, because as your business continues to grow, you might have to pull those documents for some reason. Again, just a paper trail. I'm old fashioned. Paper trail. Everything needs to, and Jeff don't like when I say old fashioned, but I just like stuff in order. I'm just an order person. When it comes to my money and my documents and stuff like that, I don't play. I just don't. So as you continue to do your business, I would highly recommend make it all match. Make it make sense. Okay. All right. Addison's dad says, discuss the advantages of any of men in the notary space, please. You know what? I think for men, your main advantage would be that, like for women, for us going out at night is a challenge. Like I do have my male mentor, I call him. He did some work for my parents when they were sick in the nursing homes. And for him, he works 24 hours, like literally. If somebody called him at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, he is there. I don't do that. Jeffrey, even before, because he was working full time, but now that he's working full time in the business with me, we still don't go out at night like that. I'm just not doing it. But if you're not a man that's afraid of it, and not that Jeffrey's afraid, I just don't want to get up and go out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. But for men, I find you don't have the same issues that women do. Like women, sometimes we're nervous about, well, what's, in the house, who's in the house. Not that they can't do something to men too, but it's very rare. But women, we have a few more intimidations, with or trepidations, whatever you want to put there, fears. We're scared of who's at the house. Is it a man? It's just a lot more fears that women have that we have to overcome. But as a man, you just get the sign and you just go, you do your thing, you come back. You could work longer. Like I said, you could work at night. You can go to jails quicker. You can go wherever without the same fears, And I will say this, as I'm not sure what race you are. It really doesn't matter, but I'm just going to put this out there. And for my husband, he's a black man. And in case you didn't know, he's a large black man. And the reason I say that is because he has to make sure, I always tell Jeffrey, make sure people know you're in the room. Because even though he's a larger person, stature-wise too, he's almost 6 feet. But Jeffrey moves really soft. And a lot of times he walks up on me. Now he's playing with me. But he'll walk up on me and I'm like, you better make your presence known. From Detroit, I'll be playing. I do stuff and then I ask questions later, okay? I might just start swinging and all this. You better tell me you're in the room. But I always tell him when he goes on assignments, though, make sure you're overly respectful as a man. Make sure, because sometimes women, they come dressed all scantily and stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm telling him, hey, when you walk in a room, make sure your presence is known at facilities too. Like if he's going to an office space or, when he's going into someone's home, make sure you're standing there at the door. Not that he don't know this stuff, but I'm just saying as a wife. Now I'm putting on wife hat. Okay, we wear a lot of hats. Now I'm putting on wife hat. Worry for my husband, worry for my man, right? Make sure you knock on the door. Make sure they can see you. If the husband is there, make sure you're super respectful to the wife. Don't give any indication that you kind of looking at her. Because I've heard another YouTuber, he's a male notary. And he said that before. Sometimes men become intimidated. You coming in the house. And women too. This go both ways, y'all. Because I've been places and I go with my little notary bag. And I'm feeling kind of cute that day. And I'm doing my notary thing. And they looking like, oh, who you think you are? Oh, you think you somebody, and it's like, they just want to get with you because of that. And it's like, no, I just said good morning, and their vibe is just all off and they short with you and jealous. I just had that happen last week, actually, but she wasn't mad at me. She was kind of mad at the place where we were doing a signing. She was mad at them. But her vibe was just terrible on the phone. I could tell she thought she was somebody. She walked in with her 2 cell phones and, she's skipping about and all this. I'm like, girl, please. Okay, now y'all gonna see the other side of me. But I'm like, you ain't got to do all that. All I said was good morning, okay? So then her boyfriend was trying to talk to me. And not like that, but he was just trying to have a conversation with me. She was like, oh, she don't have nothing to do with this. She's just a notary. I'm like, okay, I'm just a notary. It's fine, so we get quite a bit of that. And even with men, I will add this piece for men. Men can look at you like condescendingly. Now, Jeffrey hasn't experienced that. Most men that we've encountered, when they see my husband roll up, they're like, oh. Now, they will say, is that all you do? They'll ask that question. Is that all you do? It's like we do a lot. They just don't know what we do, right? So they're kind of condescendingly like, oh, you're just a notary. That happens to men and women. But even for men more, because it's like, that's all you do? You just sign some papers and you get paid? While this other man that you may know is out there slaving and working really hard, the old-fashioned way of making money. That's why I keep saying we got to get with the times, y'all. We got to get with the times. Do you really want to be, and there's nothing wrong with working your 9 to 5. Do not get me wrong. But you got to look at the news. I watch a lot of this other guy. I think he's Orlando Minor. If you've not seen him, he talks every day about 15,000 people got laid off. 20,000 got laid off. Companies are not really loyal like they used to be. You know what I'm saying? When my parents, my dad worked at Ford Motor, Jeff's dad worked at Ford Motor. They retired there 35, 40 years and came away with nice pension plans and able to take care of our mothers. And those days are gone. Those days are gone. So you better know how to take care of yourself, okay? We worked all through COVID. So were we COVID notaries? I'm going to say, I'll say I was a COVID notary because I found out about the business piece of it during COVID, but I had already been a notary for off and on for 20 years at the bank. I worked in the banking background, SunTrust. I worked for National Bank of Detroit, SunTrust for 10 years, and all those bank names have changed or whatever since then. But yeah, so I'm saying all that to say we got to be able to change with the times, guys. We got to. So yeah, that's another thing you'll run out. You'll see Addison's dad is that people will be like, oh, you're just a notary, kind of condescendingly, like, you know, as a man, like that's what you do. Oh, and it's like, and you could put your head up high and say, oh yeah, that is what I do. I'm getting paid, dude. You wish you knew what I knew. So you'll get that sometimes. And again, like I said, if you're dealing with a couple, the husband is watching the wife interact with you, you know, you taking control of his home, you know, all his business. And that's a lot of it too, is just pride. If they're doing like a loan modification, they feel guilty or feel bad. Now this man knows all my business. We done seen everything, y'all. We done seen everything. We have seen everything, even with women. And, you know, sometimes the husband will be super nice, and then the wife is looking and be like, he don't talk to me like that. You know, so when I tell you we done seen everything, and we get in the car and we just laugh, you know. It just all make for good stories. I can tell y'all stuff here on YouTube that I'm telling you. That's why I say I got a story every single day. When you walk the walk and live the life, I could come on here live every single day with a different story. Because something happening in these notary streets literally every day. And I don't have to make it up. I live it. So those are some tips that I would give for my men folk, okay? And even how you dress. I'm going to add one more, okay? My husband always dressed professionally, but don't be no super, even if you super fine and all that, don't be going to nobody's house with your shirt all the way down, even as women, okay? Oh, this is good. I'm supposed to be stopping, y'all. I'm supposed to be stopping. I got to get to a job in a minute. But I do have to add this really quick. The way you dress. I didn't even talk about the mentorship program. Two more things really quick. Let me tell you about the mentorship program, and I'm going to come back to that really quick. So the mentorship program, we have two entry points now. We got $27 a month and $47 a month. Read all the description at notaryeducatorsllc.com. But the main difference is that I want to highlight is you get to come to the one meeting. We all meet together. It's not like the $27 people meet over here, the $47 people meet over here. We all meet together. That's why I love the program. Oh, my nose is itching. Sorry. And then you get access to your fundamental courses with the smaller package. And then as you decide, okay, I think I want to start doing apostilles and wedding officiate and all that other stuff we talk about, then you can upgrade to the other package, okay? So check out the mentorship program because it really is amazing. Okay, last piece of advice when it comes to dress. When it comes to dress, women and men, don't go in there with your shirt all buttoned down because you think you looking good. You got these hairs on your chest. Don't walk in nobody's house like that, okay? Women, too, don't go in there. I know it's sexy now. You watching TV, Housewives, and all these different programs, and they have their cleavage all out, breasts hanging all out. That's not real life, okay? If you walk into somebody's house like that, they are going to be looking at you like, oh, what is this? I thought you were the notary. What you delivering? Okay, so that's some frank, really crazy talk, really, right? Because you're like, Kimmi, why you got to say that? No, real talk. Real talk. So be cautious how you look when you go to somebody's house. Now, when you go to the club on Friday night, if that's how you dress, you know, everything hanging out, and that works for you and your lifestyle, do it. But when you're trying to be a notary professional over here and you're trying to get direct clients, you're trying to get referrals, you're trying to get in these people's homes, and you don't want the husband or the wife looking at you like you crazy, dress professional. That never goes out of style. Okay? That's my last tip. That's my last tip. Addison's dad says that's good advice. Lori says knowledge is power. So that's the last thing I got for you, though. Dress like, you know, again, with your skirts and your everything. Don't be all up to your thighs and all that. if you go into somebody's home, you have to be aware of that. And what you may do again in the street, the real streets, not notary streets, but what you may do when you're going out with your friends and stuff, now you're running a business over here. You're trying to run a 6-figure business. So that's going to look a little bit different, okay? So that's my last tip for you guys. I will have you check out Notary Educators, LLC.com for all things notary. We are having session tonight. If you're not in the room where it's happening, like on Hamilton, you want to be in the room where it's happening. There are replays if you missed the live. Addison's dad said, I really enjoyed your live. I'll visit again. Yes, please do. Please do. We hope to see you over in this notary space, okay? Well, guys, on behalf of Notary Educators with Kimmi, all things notary, again, Notary Educators, LLC.com. I will see you guys later. Much success. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Notary Educators with Kimmi podcast. We hope you found today's episode helpful and inspiring as you build your notary business. Don't forget to explore our all-inclusive $47 monthly training notary library for more resources to expand your skills and services. Stay connected with us on YouTube at Notary Educators with Kimmi for even more tips, tricks, and industry insights. Be sure to subscribe and share this podcast with others who want to succeed in the notary field. Until next time, keep growing and learning, and take your notary business to the next level. See you soon! Don't forget, for all things notary related, visit notaryeducatorsllc.com.